Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse Weekly Weird News. I am Ben, I am hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
And Claire.
Hey.
This is where we talk about some weird shit we found on the internet this week.
Yeah.
Alright, so what are we going to start with, Mike? Aliens, ? Elon Musk sparks a Twitter frenzy with a claim that there are UFOs. And in all fairness, I think we can all agree there are UFOs. It's just whether they're aliens or not, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is there life, Elon, but not as we know it? This is the question on Twitter's lips in the wake of a post by SpaceX CEO Elon Musk about the existence of alien spacecraft.
Not really. Didn't say aliens anywhere in it. UFOs.
Yes, this is just obviously Elon, but you know, Elon knows, Mike. He's in on it. I'm not saying there are UFOs, but there are UFOs. The entrepreneur tweeted yesterday, provoking a frenzy of responses and memes.
He's just taking the piss out of that ancient aliens guy, isn't he? The famous meme says, I'm not saying they're aliens.
But it was aliens.
Yeah.
Georgios Stephanopoulos. I can't pronounce his last name. The guy with the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he literally thinks everything on it. I don't know if he really thinks everything is aliens, but in this show, he certainly gives the impression that he thinks everything that's ever happened is to do with aliens. It's like, oh man, someone had a can of beer in my fridge last night. Aliens. I fucking hate that show. Because it's just, it's so bad. Anyway, so social media users wanted to know if the SpaceX program had captured its own evidence of alien intelligences and if they would release the secrets. Mr. Musk's comments come in the wake of plans by the US Congress to establish a dedicated governmental office to investigate sightings of UFOs by the military. I want to be a part of that.
Be interesting, wouldn't it? Like to be a fly on the wall, that's for certain.
Oh man, just real life Man in Black, wouldn't you? Be sweet as fuck.
Well, yeah, you know, it's only the government that wants to lock up files, isn't it? SpaceX. You'd think Elon Musk would want everything out there, you know.
Would they be beholden to any government as such to release said information if they had seen stuff while they're up there?
If it contravenes America's national security, then they wouldn't would they?
Or could cause a national panic.
Yeah.
That's why they're possibly in talks with them. You know, if you do get any information, you're going to run it by us first.
Yeah, you start seeing stuff up there, you got to come and speak to us, kind of thing.
They've probably got people infiltrating his company, the CIA.
Oh, probably. Remember, a lot of scientists were probably former US government and NASA employees, probably, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Rocket scientists, they're not 10 a penny. You can't just hey.
I don't know, it's not brain surgery.
I know the sketch you're referring to. Mitchell and Webb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here comes Jeff. He keeps telling everyone he's a rocket scientist. Oh, have you met Jeremy? He's a brain surgery. Yeah. Rocket science, not brain surgery, is it? So while investigators said they were convinced that the sightings were indeed of physical objects, they were unable to prove or rule out extraterrestrial origins. Is there life, Elon, but not as we know it? And this is the question on Twitter's lips in the wake of a post by Elon Musk. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think people are just all hanging on his words, aren't they? Because he's a
very clever guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he did PayPal, didn't he? He sold PayPal, made his money, and then went into Tesla and all that. And
yeah, I don't deny he's a clever guy, but
he made party flamethrowers.
He might know a bit more than the average Joe, but I don't think he knows, does he?
It depends if the SpaceX astronauts have set anything up there. I'd imagine he's there for the launches and stuff, isn't he? It's his baby. He really wants to go to Mars.
Yeah.
He's like me. He's a damn humanist. He knows it's all for the species. Got to get off this rock.
Megalomaniac, isn't he?
Are you calling me a megalomaniac?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been called worse.
There's nothing on Mars to go for.
We've got to get there to sort it out so we can live on it, because we're fucking the Earth up, so we've got to go somewhere else.
I don't think we know how to terraform.
Well, eventually. It's little baby steps.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
theories about it.
you could introduce algae. I used to say that. Introduce a specific type of algae that thrives on carbon monoxide and converts it to oxygen. Might take hundreds of years, but you start.
Yeah. Shake and bake colony.
Oh god, it's the alien theme again. You know, I watched that movie last night.
Yeah.
I watched Aliens last night. Yeah.
Did you?
It's great.
Yeah. The view from Inspiration 4's toilet is absolutely incredible.
And it is.
SpaceX.
Nowhere else, just the toilet.
Just the toilet.
Just the toilet. Right, okay. Sorry.
SpaceX's historic Inspiration 4 mission launched like clockwork last night, kicking off the first ever all-tourist spaceflight. And as promised, the views out of the massive cupola, which is a huge glass dome replacing the Crew Dragon spacecraft's port normally used to dock to the International Space Station, are breathtaking. A video uploaded by SpaceX to Twitter shows the Earth slowly rotating hundreds of miles below. They got faked it, haven't they? Because we all know the Earth's flat.
Oh god.
Fish Islands!
I want to take every flat earther into space and then fire them into the sun when they realise they're wrong.
It's an incredible sight, especially considering the dome is right above the small spacecraft's only toilet.
I'd love that. I'd love to take a dump looking down at the Earth rotating. Oh, look at that. Yes, I live there. It's Britain. In the middle of Britain. I love it. I'd love to do that. I'd love to take a dump on space on the SpaceX toilet.
That'd be sick.
With that view.
You wouldn't know.
Why?
Because it's not like a normal toilet. It goes into a little bag, yeah, full of chemicals, and then you've got to collect that bag with your feces in, and you've got to knead it with your hands for a few minutes.
Oh, lovely.
While you're in 0G.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously after you've tied it, and then store it for re-entry.
Actually, this is a valid point, because I'm thinking of the logistics now, because you couldn't just sit on the toilet, could
Strap
you?
yourself in.
Yeah. Or at the
There's a suction.
At the very least, there'd be handles.
That sucks it down as well. So it's like a vacuum cleaner on your butthole.
Yeah.
Mm.
You think they just like suck it and burn it? Shoot it out?
Yeah, but then it becomes frozen shit everywhere in space. Circling the air.
They're flying up in the shuttle and a bag of shit splatters the window. You're like, oh!
Smashes through the window.
Oh yeah, smashes through the window. And it's going about 600 miles an hour. Yeah. And it just hits you in the face as an astronaut. So the last thing before you implode and are crushed by the remorseless forces of space is, oh no, I've got frozen shit on my face.
Well, no, it'd blow a hole in your face, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
600 miles an hour.
Let's come through the window at this point.
Yeah.
Slow down a bit.
A little bit.
You're like, no! And then it just... Oh, then your eyes pop out like in Total Recall. Still, what a place to have a crap.
Yeah. I mean, it is one in a million, isn't it, really? Not many people get to do it.
No. When they've done gravity, like artificial gravity, let's say we get to the Star Trek future. We're on the Enterprise. Right, all artificial, everything's nice. The view from the Enterprise bog has got to be fantastic, hasn't it? It should be a little viewing window, you can just sit there and just take a dump. Because it'd be a proper toilet at that rate as well, wouldn't it? Because it's the Enterprise.
I think only the captain's cabin would have that sort of view.
Well, you're dropping your captain's log. And then you're like, oh man, look at the Andromeda Galaxy. Look at that spiraling round. Beautiful. Be like the Epiphany toilet in Scrubs. They had the toilet on top of the roof, and you go up there, you'd be sat on it, and then you, bing, you have an epiphany about how to solve a problem in your life. You're crapping in the great outdoors. Well, on top of a hospital in that scenario, but... the janitor plumbed it all in. It was his toilet, and then everyone found out about it. There was a queue for it. It's his private bog. You know what? I'll need my feces in a bag if I get to use that toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, it is worth it for the view, innit?
Yeah.
No, hang on. They use the poo to make water. They wouldn't store it and bring it back. You're storing more weight then. If you're burning more fuel to come in, you use more weight. These things are balanced, aren't they?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't took that toilet that they've got in China where your poo is turned into energy.
Oh, methane. The methane.
You don't want methane on a fucking spacecraft, though.
No, you've already got a really oxygen-rich atmosphere, haven't you?
It could be quite explosive.
Yeah, because you can't even have a cigarette on the toilet while you're looking at the Earth.
You couldn't have a cigarette anyway, Ben. I don't think they take.
No, they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me smoke on the.
No fires on the
Hot boxing.
You get to the ISS and you're like, oh man, that was one hell of a journey. Put a cigarette in your mouth. It's like, no.
You have to vape.
Wake up in the night, you've got no campfire going.
I've got chilly. I've burnt my socks.
There's hot coals just sort of flying through the ship.
I set up the sauna in the room. It's floating hot coals. Steam. How did you bring this timber up here to make this sauna? Be really handy to keep all your tools though in zero G. You could just let the hammer float off. So pick a nail out the air, boop, 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 and pop it in. Do your wooden paneling on your sauna room.
It wouldn't just stay where it was, would it? It'd be sort of either spinning or moving away.
Just pluck it from the air. Puncturing holes in the hull of the spacecraft while you're knocking together a sauna room. They're down like 98% on oxygen. What's going on? Are you in my sauna? Oh well, yeah, I'd love that. Really
Worth it for the view.
Yeah.
Right then, Colchester woman launches fundraiser to save her horny hound.
From space to horny dogs. You can get it all on this show.
A humping hound who's abnormally horny nature is causing serious damage to his weary willy is in desperate need of surgery. Sex Mad Milo, the pure white chihuahua, is a beloved pet pooch of Colchester-based animal lover Courtney Smith. The 20-year-old has been told by vets that Milo runs the risks of doing irreversible damage to his penis unless his testicles are castrated.
Oh man. Poor lad, he's just got energy to burn.
Her 1-year-old dog is constantly aroused and sexually grinds against objects and toys at an alarming rate, and as a result, Milo often regularly suffers with a bleeding penis.
Oh,
and has already had to be taken to the vet twice due to carpet burn his penile sheath.
Wow! Carpet burns never heal.
Yeah, the vet's saying irreversible damage. And she doesn't want to put her dog through any more anxiety and pain every time his penis bleeds.
Take his balls.
Surely there's got to be some kind of behavioural training you could do in this scenario. Maybe getting one of them little collars that buzzes every so, like, not a shock collar, like it just buzzes a little bit. And every time he starts humping something, you press the button. Maybe try that for a couple of weeks.
I think if you haven't had them castrated, that would be the best and way forward first, then try from there, see how that goes, because that's going to really lower his libido anyway, because every time he tries on humps for the first week it's going to be quite painful.
Yeah.
He's not going to feel the urge.
No.
It can take up to 6 months for that to stop though, even with the balls off. I've only ever had one dog castrated, and that's because he was a fucking lunatic. Did nothing to stop him being a lunatic. Wasn't a humper, he was just a fucking lunatic. I thought he might have calmed him down. Didn't, but the vet said it can take 6 months for the testosterone levels to drop still. And even then it may not calm him down, it's actually a bit of a myth.
Yeah. So Courtney has now launched a fundraiser to pay for Milo's surgery and behaviour treatment, with the hope of giving him a chance of a normal,
if lustless life.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, he needs it, doesn't he? I think the two combined is his best chance.
She's asking for £1,600 though.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll do it for 50.
You're looking at like £250 for a chihuahua to get, because it's the amount of sedation and, anaesthetic they need. It's done on body weight.
Yeah.
That's why if you've got a bigger dog, it'll cost you 350. But, crikey.
Nah. Bit of whiskey and some garden shears, I'd get £50.
Is the whiskey for you or Milo? Just wrap an elastic band round them for a couple of weeks off. Fucking hell.
Isn't that what they do to sheep?
I believe it is, yeah.
Elastic band until they go a bit crunchy or black, and then they chop them off, don't they?
Yeah, it was in Clarkson's farm, wasn't it?
Oh.
When there was lambing season, any males, they put the elastic band round, and you do it fairly at birth though, don't they?
Yeah.
God, that show taught me so much about farming.
I still think it's a bit barbaric, that, isn't it, really?
Yes, but animals don't realise that, like, especially sheep and that, they just fuck their mum or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better for them in the long run,
Yeah.
I think.
You know, they'd be banging their sisters. You need to know you have to work it out. You know, which goat sired which lamb, and then there's any boys, and you want to keep
Ram,
them.
not goat.
Ram, whatever.
Different species, isn't they?
Oh, whatever. It's got horns. It's got big balls. It's on 4 legs, and he goes, bah, it's good enough. Even so, yeah, you have to work it out. Otherwise, you'll just get loads of inbreeding. All right then. Next one.
Yep.
Poor Milo.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Bigfoot, he's back, and he's grabbing people. Hunter's terror as 15-foot tall Bigfoot creature sneaks up on him and grabs him from behind. An author has told the story of how Hunter was reportedly grabbed by a huge Bigfoot, which distracted him with noises before sneaking up on him in the forest fog.
Uh,
Where's this?
Ooh, look at him there, he's fucking working out as Bigfoot.
Ripped!
He's ripped to fuck.
Yeah.
He said a man had written, this author who's collected this, he said a man has written to him detailing a chilling encounter where he'd supposedly come face to face with one of these creatures while on a hunting expedition in a forest in Tennessee, USA. Bill claimed the experience began with a sudden eruption of hooting noises, which was supposedly the creature imitating the call of an owl through the fog in front of him. Oh, Bigfoot's got fucking sass, he's got brains. Okay, he's definitely working out.
yeah.
Bill said the hunter, called Shane Barkley, thought he was safely positioned in a watchtower, but even at that height, a Bigfoot was able to reach him. Reading Shane's account of the incident, he explained, "As I sat there trembling and sweating and having seen nothing up until this point, I suddenly felt something grab the heel of my left boot. I immediately jumped to the point of almost falling out of the stand, and as I turned my head to look down to my left, I was staring at the grimacing face of a huge Sasquatch. He was directly looking up at me, having snuck up behind me, and was reaching up with his left hand to grab hold of my boot." Despite the shock at being confronted with this supposedly huge creature, Bill recalled the beast did not harm Shane, because Bigfoot just wanted some shoes, man. He's probably been collecting boots from people over the years to make one super boot. But human shoes wouldn't fit, would they?
No.
He's been cobbling.
Expert cobblers, are they?
Who knows, they got a lot of free time, that one's jacked. He's working out and cobbling, man.
I thought he'd have quite tough, soles of his feet and wouldn't require shoes.
Might get cold.
Well, all that fur on him.
His feet aren't that hairy, don't they? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Maybe he just wants to wear boots. Maybe he wants to be like you, hoo-hoo. He continued, "The very moment I jumped, he let go and just stood there, kind of swaying and watching me. As he stood there, the thought ran through my mind that all the activity and noises were just a distraction that allowed this beast to walk up on me unaware. It was as if it wanted me to know it could do whatever it wanted."
Oh, yeah. It's getting freaky.
Still, Shane reported the creature's size was unbelievable, saying he was grabbing my heel with his hand 20 foot off the ground. He would have had to be about 15 feet tall with his arm extended well beyond that, so his arm would have had to have been 7 or 8 feet long. That's quite it was a big arm. It had very long grey and white hair with dark grey skin that was visible on its face and hands as well as the upper chest as I looked down on it. According to Bill, the beast eventually took off down the trail ahead and disappeared into the trees. He suggested, Shane said, "I think the creature took about 10 steps to cover 75 feet. Wow." Despite the creature failing to harm him, Shane apparently confessed he was left terrified by the incident. Just after the attack, he said he realised he was peeing myself, and then he went on to take the next 8 days off from work. I'm going to try that one on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in this week, mate. Why's that? Well, I was out in the woods. I was in a hide. I was doing some hunting, and I looked down, and Bigfoot was trying to steal my boot. And to be honest, I've been pissing myself constantly in the fear he's going to come back and take my boots.
You're fired.
Yeah.
I think this is a poor excuse.
I want to try it now. I'm going to
Yeah.
send this article to my supervisor and see if it'll work.
Yeah, I think it's either an excuse that he used to get out to explain his time off work, or he dreamt it. To be fair.
You notice whenever we read these ones about, the Bigfoot, the ghosts, none of the people sort of at the time sort of question anything. They're like, you didn't turn around and go, "Yo, you Bigfoot," and they never say that they do. What, are they just too busy pissing themselves?
I guess so. I mean, imagine that'd be quite scary. Seeing a 15-foot tall man ape trying to take your boot. Or grabbing your boot. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably piss myself if that happened.
You're not going to go, "Hang on a second, Bigfoot, let me just get
Bigfoot? What's your game, Ellen?
Just get me phone out. Do you want a selfie? Yeah. If you want to do an interview, I'll record it.
Yeah.
But I would like to meet him.
You piss yourself?
Of course I would, but I'd be fucking ace. Like, "Yo, Bigfoot," and as I'm pissing myself.
They'd have got, you'd have been able to put cameras out there in the woods.
Yeah, you're not missing 15 foot. How big are these fucking woods?
It's in Tennessee. I don't know how big the trees are. I assume they're big forests. It's.
They ain't that big. Hides 15 feet beasts. Yeah.
But if his hide is 20 foot tall, that's just the trees are taller. Because otherwise he'd be above the canopy, so he'll be able to see anything to shoot.
Why doesn't he go and put some cameras up, and then come back with some solid evidence?
Yeah.
Because one tried to take his boot and he's traumatised. I mean, he'll never go back to them woods again.
Shame on you. You're a shit Bigfoot hunter.
I like Bigfoot. He's a friend. I think he's a friend of the show by now. Just try and get him on. We'll go to America and hunt him. Not hunt him in a bad way, just like go and find him.
How about hunting woolly mammoths?
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Firm raises $15 million to bring back woolly mammoths from extinction.
Is that a good idea?
Aren't they huge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like loads bigger than elephants, aren't they?
Yeah.
How many times?
Oh God, I don't know, but well, I suppose we'll find it in the article maybe.
10,000 years after woolly mammoths vanished from the face of the earth, scientists are embarking on an ambitious project to bring the beasts back to the Arctic tundra.
What's the point? There's going to be no Arctic in a few years.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, "We've made them extinct again." All the people will be like,
Too fucking warm for them.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think it's a good idea.
And then they'll start going bald, actually. Before they die, they'll start going bald and getting alopecia. And, Yeah.
On Monday, researchers announced fresh funding they believe could make their dream a reality. The boost comes in the form of $15 million, that's £11 million, raised by the bioscience and genetics company Colourful.
Ooh.
A tech and software entrepreneur, George Church, a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School who has pioneered new approaches to gene editing.
Why doesn't he do something a bit useful then? Like gene editing to get rid of, cancers or cardio issues or...
Making us all into perfect supermen and women.
I know, it's unethical in that either way, isn't it? But, because if we start eradicating odds and ends, it could throw up different...
Odds and ends. You might end up with getting rid of cancer and creating some kind of super cancer by mistake because the body just can't handle the fact it hasn't got cancer at some point.
Yeah.
Because we all have that gene locked away in us, don't we? It just depends on whether the right triggers activate it and how sensitive it is.
Yeah.
But what if that gene, you take that out and a bigger, stronger gene comes in, gets in its place?
Yeah.
Body reacts somehow. I don't even know if that's possible.
I don't know. But these scientists have set their initial sights on creating an elephant-mammoth hybrid, so it's not a pure mammoth, by making embryos
Oh, well, I'm not interested now.
No,
in the laboratory that carry mammoth DNA.
I don't want no mongrel mammoth.
Some mud blood.
The starting point for the project involved taking skin cells from Asian elephants, which are threatened with extinction, and reprogramming them into more versatile stem cells that carry mammoth DNA. The particular genes that are responsible for mammoth hair, insulating fat layers and other cold climate adaptations are identified by comparing mammoth genomes extracted from animals recovered from the permafrost with those from the related Asian elephants.
Isn't it a bit hot in Asia as opposed to...
Yeah, it's their closest relatives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still, I wouldn't want to have much hair if I was in Asia, would it?
No, but you would in the Arctic tundra.
Yeah, if that's where they're putting them.
Oh my God, they're gonna fight polar bears and shit.
Maybe, I don't know.
What do they eat?
What, polar bears?
No, the
Mammoths.
Mammoths?
Grass, innit? Foliage.
Yeah. I don't know.
That only grows for so many months a year, doesn't it?
Yeah. These embryos would then be carried to term in surrogate mother or potentially an artificial womb. If all goes to plan, the researchers hope to have their first set of calves in 6 years.
Jesus.
Our goal is to make a cold-resistant elephant, but it's going to look and behave like a mammoth. Not because we're trying to trick anybody, but because we want something that is functionally equivalent to the mammoth, that will enjoy its time at -40 and do all the things that elephants and mammoths do, in particular knocking down trees.
Oh yeah, because there's loads of them knocking around in the Arctic in the trees.
Yeah.
There is quite a lot, actually. Not right up in the Arctic,
Yeah, yeah.
but just, there's like a band around it, isn't there?
Why don't they make artificial wombs for people that can't have babies, and then, you know, for instead of IVF, well, still do the IVF thing, but, you know, help people in that way, instead of creating something we don't fucking need that's already gone extinct.
Mm. Well, mammoth burgers would be fucking awesome, wouldn't they?
That's what this will be about. Money, mammoth burgers.
Yeah.
McMammoth, I'll have a McMammoth burger, please.
The project is framed as an effort to help conserve Asian elephants by equipping them with traits that allow them to thrive in vast stretches of the Arctic known as the Mammoth Steppe. But the scientists also believe introducing herd of elephant-mammoth hybrids to the Arctic tundra may help restore the degraded habitat and combat some of the impacts of the climate crisis.
We'll leave it to the mammoths then. We'll keep on polluting. We got the mammoths back.
Yeah.
So the mammoths are meant to like get rid of trees.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
It might help restore the former Arctic grasslands. And no, let's face it, no one's going to go poaching in -40.
No.
That's
Yeah, if it's a mammoth, it's worth it, innit?
Yeah. Mind you, knocking them up in labs now. I don't know whether you should be restoring stuff. I mean, they had their chance, like you said, Claire. They failed.
And stuff in the animals in the Arctic are already suffering, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, your polar bears and whatnot.
Absolutely.
There's a climate change. Is it fair to bring them back and stick them into somewhere
No.
very inhospitable?
And I saw today on another nature programme they're making coral, because the coral reefs are dying,
Yeah.
trying to make them more resistant to heat. It's like, what the fuck, can we just stop climate change?
Yeah, let's
Stop
stop
burning fossil fuels.
Stop trying to adapt the world
I know.
to fit with what we're doing when we should just be changing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you think of the money that's being pumped into that research that could be spent on getting people onto solar power and everything.
Yeah. Madness in it.
Yeah. But that's not profitable.
Well, you know, I've said it before, you know, building all these new houses, why haven't they all got solar power on top?
Yeah, they should have.
You can build houses now that produce more energy than they consume.
Yeah, you could put on top of each one a little wind one and a little,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
They can do it now.
My
Technology's there.
My dad wanted a little windmill on the side of the house, but they're quite expensive still.
Mm.
You got to have a battery for them. You got to have an underground battery or a battery somewhere in the house. It's a big bulky thing. The technology's not there to make them quite small and still have lots of power stored in
Yeah,
it.
but if you pumped in the research into that,
Yeah.
get there quicker, wouldn't we?
Instead of woolly mammoths, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. You're absolutely right. It seems it's cool, but it also seems quite pointless. It's like, you're going to stick them in the Arctic, well, the Arctic Circle's shrinking faster than ever, so that's a waste of time.
And it's warming up, and they're going
It's
to...
warming up, so they're just going to get really hot.
Yeah.
What if also the breeding goes out of control? What if they breed like fucking rabbits? We don't know. We weren't there to see it happen.
It'll be someone's job to go around shaving all these mammoths.
You know, think of it, you know, we've got a fucking war with the mammoths. They get their numbers up. Decide the Arctic's too small for them. Trumpeting across the plains of Asia, these fucking mammoths. The Russian army can't stop them. It's too many.
Well, they can. They got the Satan too.
Well, they're going to nuke their own country. They'll stop the mammoths, are they?
It may come to that.
And how many rounds does it take to bring down a fucking mammoth?
Yeah.
It takes 8 to bring down an ostrich, and that was rifle rounds. But it's a smaller nowadays. You have 50 cows opening up on them. You find RPGs and mammoths.
They won't be able to get past the Ural Mountains.
How do you know?
That's what he just saying, like I knew what I was saying.
Hannibal got elephants across the Alps, mate. I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah. Shit.
They're an unstoppable hairy horde coming from the east. It's like Genghis Khan of mammoths. Sorry, Genghis Khan. Apologies to Dan Carling. He pronounces it Genghis, and I will go with him.
Right then, next up is jealous bloke who chopped off pal's willy with an axe because it was bigger than his.
Well, it's extreme.
A drunken decision to have a penis measuring competition after a 2-day booze bender ended in bloodshed, amputation and the threat of prison to 2 middle-aged pals.
Middle-aged?
Pals?
Oh wait, it's in Russia. There we go. It was either Russia or Florida, wasn't it?
In the Urals, actually.
Oh, the Urals, fantastic.
So, the 2-day drinking benders rarely end well, but one man bloke was left nursing more than just a hangover after a monster booze session. He had a gaping wound where his penis used to be.
Oh.
According to reports, a 47-year-old victim from
Bashkortostan?
Bashkortostan in Urals
Yeah.
region of Russia has been boozing heavily with his 52-year-old buddy, a close friend since childhood. Things apparently got heated when the pair drunkenly decided to have a penis measuring contest. Unhappy and losing, the older man took an axe to his mate's manhood, lopping it clean off, and was arrested and held by police.
Holy shit.
Oh, crikey. The horrifying tale sent shockwaves around the world. This is in 2016.
Oh.
Crikey. A police spokesman said over 2 days the men were binge drinking, which led to the violent argument. When words were exhausted, the attacker pulled an axe from and first struck the opponent on the head and then cut his hood off.
I was wondering how the other guy stood so still while the other one went and got an axe, and he was just sat there with his dick on the table, so going, and then the other one just comes in and screams at him in Russian and chops it off. I was like, oh.
I thought that he'd have had like a little mini axe in his belt or something, and then like out of nowhere, they're just measuring him. He's like, the fuck, straight off, and then he hits the ground from pain,
Yeah.
So the victim's screams prompted neighbours to call the police, who discovered the grisly scene. The older man woke up with more than just a sore head too. I wonder if they've sewn it back on. He was charged with inflicting a grave injury on his friend and faced up to 8.5 years in jail if convicted.
Wow. Is that it?
Yeah.
8 years. There's no justice there.
Not if he's just left with a stump.
4 years, good behaviour.
I don't know about that in Russia.
No, maybe not.
I wouldn't fancy going to a Russian jail for 4 years, I mind 8. I'm thinking, it probably isn't, but I'm thinking gulag, I'm thinking hard labour camp.
Yeah.
So it could just be a normal jail, I don't know. We've got a Russian listener, tell me. What's your prisons like? And you've got, it's full of Russian mobsters as well.
Yeah, I bet he's going to see a lot of willies in jail as well.
Yeah, because he hasn't got one, he's going to be the closest thing to a...
No, he has got
one. Oh, he's got one, yeah.
But
or maybe I'll cut his off.
He's going to get raped in prison, probably.
Well, he's got a smaller penis, so he probably won't be too so attractive, will he?
Don't rape me, I've got a small car.
But still, it's a bit of a overreaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at what point do you decide to just have a dick measuring contest? Is that something that happens with men? I've never felt the urge to whip it out in front of another man to see if I've got a bigger dick.
I knew somebody that used to have porn parties.
Right.
Just blokes sitting around wanking, I guess.
I couldn't do it in front of another
I
man.
know.
It
It just seems, it's not right, is it?
seems a bit weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there. I don't want another dude watching me while I do it.
I think if he'd have got his willy out and gone, and I fucked your mum with it.
Yeah.
But still, that would have just been, should have been pissed enough to laugh it off.
Yeah, obviously his banter wasn't top game, was it? It might be smaller than yours, but your mum wasn't moaning. If he'd have just gone with a mum joke, it would have been all laughs. They'd have been clapping each other on the back heartily, and none of this would have happened.
Yeah. Oh
well. Poor guy.
When life throws you a small dick, chop off your mates, because it's bigger.
Yeah. Oh man, well if you'd gone onto Pornhub, there's plenty of ads on there for enhancing your penis.
Yeah. There's also some ads that sometimes you see pop up says, women that love small cocks in your area or something like that.
How do you know? There you go, Mike. Proof, if proof need be, that you are in fact being spied on. CIA.
How do you know you're
CIA are watching you masturbate and putting targeted ads up.
No, they can't be targeted. This is all weird shit. I don't look at.
My favourite one is like horny women in your area. You're like, oh yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure that they're all online just waiting to chat with me right now. Why don't they just come round my house instead? Yeah.
And on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell, let's end the show. I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. You can follow us on Facebook at Cut Into the Bull in the PTA, YouTube at Pockets Bull, and we are, of course, a podcast and on numerous podcasting platforms. Yeah, thanks for listening, and don't drink the favourite, don't have dick measuring competitions, and do we really need a mammoth? It's a question I'm leaving you with, listener.
I take it it's a rhetorical question.
It can be rhetorical, it can be philosophical, I don't mind. Do we need a mammoth? That's my science voice, my debate voice.
Fair enough. I've been Mike, thanks for listening, peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire, and go on safe 48-hour benders.
Such a thing as a safe 48-hour booze bender. It's always going to end badly, but hopefully it will end up being still intact.